If you're reading this, you've probably had your own experience with a nosy neighbor or an HOA with a power complex. But have you ever had one come to your gate with an imitation police unit, flashing lights, tacky uniforms, and an ego the size of a mountain, attempting to conduct a raid on your property? Because I have. On my ranch, miles from their cookie-cutter cul-de-sacs, they thought I was some solitary rancher they could push around. What they did not figure on, colliding headfirst into the Iron Viper MC charity barbecue. Their little prank dissipated quicker than damp fireworks in an electrical storm. Leave a comment below if your HOA drama ever went off the track. Because this one's a ride. 5 years ago, I finally made the dream a reality. Purchased 60 acres of rocky wooded Texas hill country, a spring-fed pond, a house with history in the timbers, and not another neighbor for half a mile. Just me, my horses, a group of rescue dogs, and nothing but sky and silence. I worked remotely in cyber, coding during the day with the wind blowing in and knocking out tasks in the evenings. It was tranquility, earned tranquility. I lived solitary, waved to the people on the county highway. Nothing pretentious, just the simple life I created for myself from the ground up. Then the bulldozers arrived, not on my land, but on the huge expanse of land to the east. A developer was clearing out Serenity Springs Estates, another lifeless cookie-cutter subdivision. I wasn't concerned at first. A creek and a copse of trees separated us. Minimal road noise, nothing significant. Live and let live, isn't that what they say? What I didn't anticipate was Serenity Springs HOA, a tin-pot dictatorship wrapped in Gerald Jerry Thornton, retired office bureaucrat turned wannabe emperor of beige. Jerry appeared to believe his HOA empire didn't end behind the vinyl fences. Nope. He had sights on my property, too. It began with a slick brochure in my mailbox, far out by the county road. A welcome neighbor package full of paint codes, tan, taupe, or slate, yard height restrictions, and trash can visibility guidelines. I laughed and tossed it. Must have been an accident. A month later, a certified letter shows up, signed by none other than Jerry himself. Violation notice. Claim my livestock, horses, mind you, were visible from community view. Mind you, my pasture is a mile away, behind a dense tree line. You'd need a drone or sniper scope to even spot them. The letter required me to install a white vinyl privacy screen to protect the livestock or receive daily fines. I gazed at it as if it had been written in crayon. This wasn't a bureaucratic mistake. It was madness. I responded, courteous, certified, with a copy of my deed indicating my ranch was outside their HOA by decades. Advised them to check their plat maps. Thought that would close the matter. Wrong. Jerry wasn't merely obsessive. He had time, a grudge, and a clipboard. 2 weeks pass, and I receive a thick envelope from his HOA attorney. They doubled down, referencing amorphous nuisance statutes and unattractive agricultural elements. Low-resolution photos of my horses, my rusty stock trailer, even my vegetable garden were included, marked a blight. Someone had trespassed or snapped from an absurd distance. They threatened to make me conceal the animals, move the trailer, uproot the garden, or else. I was officially creeped out. That's when my cybersecurity sensibilities took over. This wasn't just a nuisance. It was a targeted effort. I phoned the county zoning office regarding the ordinance they mentioned. The woman on the phone literally laughed. That's industrial farms, not backyard horses. Tell Jerry to kick rocks. Your land's not under their HOA. Later that week, I researched Jerry's background. Retired logistics manager, fanatical rule follower. HOA website featured him pointing at ribbon cuttings, micromanaging every committee from landscaping to suspicious activity patrols. Then I had a cup of coffee with Roy, a friend who assisted with paving roads in Serenity Springs. He shook his head. Jerry's a nightmare. Complains about everything. Wants patrol cars and uniforms now. Says the sheriff's too slow. That got my hackles up. Impersonating cops? That's not petty. That's illegal. I called my cousin Laura, a lawyer with a particular disdain for HOA bullies. I spread out the letters, photographs, trespassing, and Roy's rumors. She was delighted. They're way out of bounds. The threats of legal action are ridiculous. And impersonating police? That's a crime. She instructed me to tape everything and put up high-definition security cameras. Sometimes a blinking red light is enough to scare the stupid, she told me. Days afterward, they mailed me a bill. Thousands in penalties for the horses, the trailer, the garden. Now my quarter-century-old barbed wire fence as well. A glossy brochure was included with Jerry and a sidekick dressed in Inexby. At 12:45, a lookout gave the signal to riot. Showtime. At 1 o'clock on the dot, Jerry's SUV crept up the driveway, amber lights aglow. It rolled to a halt, impeded by bikes. Jerry emerged, clipboard at hand, dressed like a cop at the mall, eyes scanning. "Mr. Thompson," he started, "according to our notice, we're here to inspect your infractions." Laughter erupted. "You're trespassing," I said, unruffled. Riot and the Viper stood behind me, quiet but unmistakable. "This is private property. You're not the police. Your pretend badges and flashlights don't amount to squat." Jerry stuttered, continuing to brandish his clipboard. "You have to obey." "No way, and if you don't get out, I'll call the actual sheriff and have you arrested for impersonating an officer and trespassing. You've got 10 seconds. Riot advanced. "You're disrupting a vet benefit party. Unless you've got a warrant, turn around and leave." Jerry blinked. Saw that wasn't just a rancher anymore. An army. I began counting. 1, 2. His driver freaked out. "Jerry, let's go." 3, 4. Jerry hissed. "This isn't over?" and jumped into the SUV. 5, 6. The SUV spewed gravel, squealing tires, close to colliding with a few bikes before speeding back to Serenity Springs. Riot's crowd went crazy. Riot laughed. Didn't even stay for ribs. At 3 p.m., the real,